Good morning. Hello. How often when I say good morning am I scratching my head like this? It's interesting. Don't know whether I do. I've just thought of that. I seem to always be. I watched a few videos the other day because I needed some ideas. I need to pluck some ideas out of some old videos, and I found myself I was doing this a lot. And we went to see me and Christine. When was this? Ages ago. We went to see Mickey Flanagan, the comedian, doing his. Before he toured, he was doing some warm up shows, and in one of the when he was working through his material, because he'd been working from notes, and this was the first night when we saw him that he hadn't used his notes to work from. Just really interesting watching it unfold. And he said, if you see me doing this, it's because I've lost my place. It's a little habit. And he's like, damn, now you know that when I do that, I've lost my place. So I just thought it was interesting. And I was wondering, how often do I go, good morning? When I'm scratching the back of my head, it's always this little spot here. I have no idea why. I wonder if it's a pressure point. I don't know. Anyway, what did I decide to talk about today? What triggered this was I came in. I've just been to the gym. That's why I look a bit kind of hot, sweaty, and a bit wet around the ears. I've been to cycle energy or spinning. So I've been there, came home, and I went upstairs just to see whether I get in the shower or whatever. Christine was going in the shower. And what I noticed was in the bedroom, there was music playing. And this is interesting because Christine never puts music on in the bedroom. And what's interesting about that is, we'll get there. What's interesting about that is that we have a set of speakers in the bedroom, a set of Sonos speakers, Wi-Fi connected jobbies, and they were tucked out of sight because that was the only space for them. And then we reconfigured the bedroom, and now they're in plain sight, one each on one of our bedside kind of unit things. And since they have been revealed and since they are visible, Christine started playing music on them. Now, in terms of me and my kind of the way I operate, I'd always be thinking, I always do, wherever I'm anywhere, can I get some music on here? In the car, in the office, bedroom, kitchen, can I get some music on? Christine doesn't do that, but because they're visible, she's playing music in the bedroom while she does her hair and gets ready and stuff. And that's really interesting. And it struck me that environment is everything. And I've talked about this before, but that just struck me that there's a very clear anecdotal incident observation that when something is visible, you use it more. And my pet hate, my pet love, and my pet hate, the mobile phone. If it's visible and it's out, you use it. If it's put away, you don't. And I do this. My phone's out at the minute. It's on my desk. It isn't usually on my desk because it's going off to be repaired because I dropped it and it's got a broken screen. So it's going off to be repaired there. So it's out to remember to give it to Christine because she's out and about today. She couldn't do that. So if it's out, you'll look at it. If it's not out, you tend not to, or not as much anyway. So environment is key. And it struck me as well yesterday. We had a lovely day as a team with our team leader. Is that Sarah's title? With Sarah, our team leader. And she very much, we were doing a team building day. Now, the cynical among us might suggest that such things are folly. And that what did one person apparently said, and I don't know who it was, that it was forced entertainment for the day. And I quite like that. I'm a bit cynical at team building days. I'm sometimes not sure what they're for. But here's the point. Yesterday was really, really good because the right environment was created. And a few things that happened struck me. We did some really nice exercises about like SWOT analysis thing, the usual stuff. And we did some stuff where we had to write our own strengths down, but also we had to write down things that we kind of things that or other people's strengths or things that we find helpful in other people. You have to write all that down. And it struck me that I came away feeling very good about myself and the team and my colleagues and the day. And because the other environment that we create, isn't it, is this internal environment that we have to think of. I'm always fond of saying, and it's not an uncontested thought We're biology first. And our biology, the chemicals rushing around in our bodies, our stress response, our happy chemicals, all that kind of stuff, all the emotions we feel have a biological marker. We're biology first. Of course, we're biology first. We can track our ancestors back to wee creatures and stuff. So of course we're biology first. We are biology. If we weren't biology, we wouldn't be, would we? Philosophical point, maybe. So we are biology first, and our biology creates these feelings that we then give names. And we call them emotions, don't we? We call them emotions. These names we give to this feeling that manifests itself, whatever it is: anxiety, happiness, joy, delight, fear, whatever they are. We go, oh, this is fear, this is joy, yeah, that kind of thing, and that creates a kind of psychological map of our internal world. And then we self-talk. Then we talk to ourselves about that. Oh, I'm the sort of person who always gets angry. I'm always fearful. I'm always anxious. I'm always a joy. I'm always happy. We do that, don't we? And one of the things that that I remember, I think I listened to a minimalist. I think this is the Minimalist podcast, talking about decluttering your emotions. And they said that emotions are just data. They tell us stuff about ourselves. Emotions tell us what we value, because we experience strong emotions anyway around stuff we value. But emotions are not directives. We don't have to be guided or led by our emotions. We can just experience them, can't we? But maybe we need to do a bit of an audit of our emotions. How do I feel when I'm in a particular place at a particular time doing a particular thing? And is there a better way to feel? And what would I do in order to feel better in that way? Like, for example, if I'm delivering a lecture and I haven't prepared very well, and I probably didn't used to prepare as far in advance as I do now, or in the same way as I prepare now. I used to get very anxious before lectures. Now I don't get anxious before lectures at all. Now, part of that could be because I've just got used to doing it. But I generally think part of it is A, the self-talk. I can do this. This is something I can do. B is the feedback. Got some lovely feedback yesterday, but what it also is I've decided that in order not to feel the anxious emotions, I need to prepare effectively. I probably maybe over prepare a little, but that just means, but so what? I over prepare a little, but then when I get to the lecture, I don't feel any anxiety at all around that. A little buzz, maybe a little kind of way, let's get going kind of thing, which is good, really. So I think we need to consider our emotions carefully, and then and maybe declutter them, think about them, see them as valuable data about how we perceive the world, but not necessarily as directives. So we're biology. Then that influences our psychology. We create neural pathways around how we feel, and repetition of feelings, repetition of events, and the way we think about them create neural pathways. And then we take this person into the social world, don't we? And I think we have to be careful in terms of this, because this is where we create an environment that hopefully supports us to do what we're trying to do. And I think that's important in the way we work. There's some interesting research about this, about kind of particularly in light of the working from home thing. And I just plucked this little quote out of my Obsidian vault, and it said, "The functionality of the technical equipment in the home office has a decisive influence on the health and job satisfaction of employees." So there's an environment thing, isn't it? There's an environment thing where the way you just configure your space. So we've talked about this internal environment, I suppose, this managing your emotions, managing your emotions first, managing your energy second. Then we're moving now into managing time and task, and we're managing it within this environment. So things that really help to get off the laptop and get onto separate screens, and Make sure you've got a good keyboard, make sure you've got a good chair. All of these things are just going to make sure you've got some good headphones if you use them, or good speakers. Make sure you've got a good camera for all the home working thing. All these things are really important, and it's important to kind of create your own space. I think, I think it must be plain for you to see that this environment that I inhabit on a regular basis is created around me. It's my little bubble, I suppose. And I come in here, and everything I need is to hand. Everything into here says to me, work, different types of work. You know what I mean? So there's the music. I make more music now. I've got myself a little setup that's permanent. The books trigger me to think in particular ways and think about particular things. So all of that kind of thing, create an environment that supports what you need to do. And then lots of stuff around environment, which is really interesting. Do you work with music or not? Some people do, some people don't. We're all different, you see. This is the really nice thing, isn't it? But there is evidence that music reduces feelings of stress. It reduces fatigue. It has a positive effect on mental fatigue, particularly during routine and repetitive tasks, which is quite interesting. I can't work to music with lyrics. I can work to opera, interestingly, because I don't understand the words because they're in Italian often. So anyway, but music reduces fatigue. It can do all sorts of things, and I think it's got a lot to do with where you're at in your head. What the music does, because it does a range of things. It can inspire you, it can reduce fatigue, it can stimulate you. If you're feeling tired, music can help, but it can also relax you if you're feeling overstimulated. So maybe it's the right sort of music. Is it an opera day? Is it a lo-fi day? Is it a Rage Against the Machine day or whatever? What sort of day is it? What do you need? So music's got a role to play in our environment as well, I believe. But the key in your environment is to remove the distractions, so that the only things that you are triggering you are things that will help you get the things done that you need to do. So minimize distractions, create an environment or a space, and it's even a space within the machine, isn't it? Within the computer. How do you name your folders? How do you save things into folders? It's an interesting thing that I've started to do. I used to save. Like when I do this kind of thing, I would save all my JPEGs, my images, in one folder. I'd save all my Word documents in a folder for those. I'd save all of my videos in a folder for those. But now I've moved to more project folders. So I have a project folder for lives, and everything goes into the project folder. So if I'm doing a live, everything's in there, rather than, something's in here, something's in there, something's in this other place. And that's really helped. So project folders rather than file type folders. It's really good. Don't know whether that helps anybody, but that's just popping into my head. So we're thinking about the environment we create. We also have to think about our impact on others in the environment. Be mindful of what others are doing, what others are going through, what they're trying to achieve. That's the gears metaphor, which I've used before. So declutter your emotions. Careful about your behaviors when you're with other people. Remember, you're stacked up on your biology. So manage your biology first. Manage your stress response first. Then manage your energy levels, and then start to manage time to task. I'm going to leave you with something that I've probably done before, and that's Alan Watts. Alan Watts says, and this is about your internal self. I really like this. It's been popping into my head this morning as I was walking to the gym. He says that when we're striving to get somewhere, when we're striving to be somebody, achieve something, or whatever, he says we never get there, because whatever we're striving for is not out there. If we create our there internally, we'll find we're already here. We're already just enough as we are. So we have to find ourselves inside ourselves, not in something that's out there, not in purchases, not in status, not in anything like that. We are already there. We're already here. We're already, inside ourselves. Your life's not who you are. Your life is the place you take who you are to do the business that the world has dictated that you do, and hopefully to do things that you want to do as well, you know. So if your life's not about what's out there, but about what's in here, then why do we judge ourselves by what's out there? Money, possessions, amount of friends on Facebook, or whatever. Why do we judge ourselves by those things? If who we are is not that, who we are is who we are inside. And the point with judging ourselves by things that are out there is there are too many other factors at play, aren't there? Too many things that are outside of our control. You know, it's like when I do these videos, and I do them because I enjoy doing them, and I do them because in here I think, well, I know some bits and bobs, and if I can tell some people those bits and bobs, I can tell one person those bits and bobs. If one person picks up 30 seconds of this and it makes a difference, then that's mission accomplished, you know. But if I was measuring my success, as some people do, by how many views or likes or comments I get, then I'd be pretty disappointed. You know, but that's fine. That's fine, because that's not why I do it, I suppose. Anyway, there you go. Be responsible for each other, be responsible for our environment, be our best selves that we take into that environment. Be physically and emotionally prepared for the mental work we do, and make sure you've got an environment that supports that. It takes planning. You might have to spend a little bit of money even just to get some things that are going to help you, but you will then be more efficient and you just feel better about it. You know what I mean? Environment's key. Have good days. See you soon.